Okay, so welcome to my tutorial on how to do tubular chenille stitch. I'm just testing out various camera configurations and microphone configurations at the moment, so please bear with me until I get it right. So what you'll need for this is two different colours of seed beads. I'm using size 8/0 just so that you can see clearly what I'm doing. They're slightly bigger, better to use on tutorials. I'm using some 8-pound fireline in a smoke colour, and you'll need some snippers to finish off your work, and a size 10 or a size 12 beading needle. I've already strung mine. For this, you're better off just working with whatever length of yarn that you feel comfortable with, depending on what you're going to do with the tubular rope. When you're finished, bracelet or necklace, you will have to join yarn on, so just work with whatever you're happy working with. And that is it. That is all you need. The seed beads that I am using are Mayuki 8/0 seed beads in an aluminium colour, and this is a gunmetal iris. So I will call this my seed bead A. To get started, what you need to do is decide how thick you want your rope. This is a very good stitch for adjusting the size. You can use 8/0 seed beads, you can use 11/0 seed beads, and that will determine the end result, the size of the end result. What you can also do is change the number of beads that you are beading with. The only thing which you need to know is it has to be an even number. So we're going to work on an 8 round, if you like. Now, a lot of people just start off with their first row. I like to start off with my small row because it gives the end a bit more of a bullet shape, and I think it finishes off quite nicely. You can also, if you want to, which I sometimes do, is add another size 8 or a size 6 onto the very end, which allows me to string an eye pin through there and pull it through a bullet type end finding without using thread for that part of the job. I'm always worried that if you thread your final beads onto the catch or the jump ring or whatever, and then at some point that item fails, then your whole necklace could potentially fall apart. So anyway, let's get started. So to start off, I've picked up 4 of my silver beads, and a lot of people use a stop bead. I tend not to, especially when I'm doing things like this, because just leave a 4 or 5 inch tail. Go back through all of those beads again, and then when you've done that, go back through just the first bead again and pull it to make it into a circle. That's the start. So what we're going to do now is we're going to alternate rows. So that's our first row with just 4 beads. So next row, we're going to pick up 2 of your other colour beads and go through the next 8/0 seed bead. Make them sit nice and flat, almost like a herringbone stitch. Pick up another 2 and repeat the process through the next seed bead. Making sure they sit nice and flat. Same again. Through the next seed bead. Make them sit in there nice and flat, and then pick up. This is your last one on this row. So where I'm saying you need an even number of beads, it's this row that has to have an even number. You could potentially do 10 seed beads in this row, which means you half that. You could start off with 5 seed beads in this row. It's entirely up to you. You can do it however you like. So for this one, we're going to have to step up. So we go through the next row A seed bead and up through the very first row B seed bead. Pull that through, and again making sure they sit in that nice herringbone pattern. So that is the first 2 rows done. It looks like a little cube. Next thing we need to do then is we do another row A, which is exactly the same as this one. You pick up 1 seed bead and go through the next one in that pair and the first one of the next pair. Pull that through. Don't worry at this stage if it all looks a little bit flat. When you start tightening your tension after this row, you'll see it starting to come together as a better example. So pick up your next seed bead, go through the second one of that pair and the first one of the next pair, and just repeat that all the way around. So that next seed bead that you're putting on sits beautifully in the middle of those 2 herringbone, wrong colour, stitches. Pick up another seed bead, go through the next 2, and last stitch on this row, pick up 1 more of your aluminium colour, go through the next 2 and up the first one of the row that you've just completed. This is your step up on that row. Now at this point on row 3, this is where we need to start encouraging it. So push it up with your fingers, make it into a nice curl. We'll start that curl on this row, pull the tension, then we're on a row B with colour B. Pick up 2, go through the next bead, pick up 2, through the next bead, start pulling that tension nice and tight now. Pick up 2, through the next bead, pick up 2. This is the last one on this row. Go through the next silver and up the first gunmetal. Back to a row A. You can see it's starting to take its tubular shape now. Row A, you're going through the gunmetals. Go through 2 of the gunmetal beads. So your next silver is sitting in the middle of those two black ones. Same again through the next two beads, and you just continue doing this for as many rows as you want to. Another silver through the next two, and the last one on this row through the next two black, and up the next silver because we're stepping up. I'll do a couple more rows without talking, just so you can get the hang of it, so you can see watch what I'm doing. That's one more row with a step up. Now you can see the shape that tube is taking, and you just carry on doing that for as many rows as you want to get the length that you want, and then finish on a row A with 4 of the colour A that you've whichever colour you've chosen. And once you've done that final row, you just sew through those beads another 2 or 3 times to tie it off, cinch it up and give you that bullet ending on the other end as well. That's it. It's a very simple stitch. It makes up very, very quickly. The end result is pretty. So I'm going to change camera now and try the other one just to see how much better or worse it is.